Cheers, buddy boy.
Cheers. Hey, welcome to Overpromised, our bonus podcast. It's Covino and Rich from Fox Sports Radio. Hope you're having a great week. I'm so excited for this week, Rich. Tomorrow, filling in for Colin Cowherd. Stars. Trust your eyes.
Stars.
Filling in for Colin Cowherd. And on Friday, a live broadcast from Nashville, Tennessee. Hope to see you there at the Graduate Hotels. Join us. If you're not joining us live, and it's free to come, so come and party with us, definitely be listening.
Yeah, if you want to find us in Nashville, I'll be the guy looking at all the bachelorette parties passing by on Broadway.
I know you are.
My goodness. Bachelorette party capital of the world.
Guy.
You're allowed to look.
He's coming to party. You're
allowed
invited.
to look. But yeah, Friday, Nashville, game on, Graduate Hotel. So check that out. Friday, join us in Nashville.
All right, but on Overpromised today, people who look the funniest in their new NFL uniforms. Lots of big moves this week.
Guys got a list.
I got a whole list. Aaron Rodgers in the news. Does he have a better chance of winning a Super Bowl or becoming a vice president? We'll get to that.
I have thoughts.
And, of course, we got to talk Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. Again, this summer, July 20th. Is anyone over 40? Anyone who grew up playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, 007-373-5963. Are they delusional? Because we thought of him as invincible, Iron Mike Tyson, the youngest heavyweight champion in the world. Are we delusional to think that he's going to win?
I think there's a sense that anyone, like you said, any kid of the 80s or 90s, if you're roughly 40, you have this belief that this is the Mike Tyson we grew up with. The Mike Tyson where you would rent a pay-per-view, round one, he'd get all low in there and knock the shit out of someone. That's not the Mike Tyson we're dealing with now. And I love Mike Tyson.
We all love Mike Tyson. He's the most intriguing, interesting man on the face of the earth. We've interviewed him several times, but I'll tell you what, straight up, he's older now. He's 58. And you know, Glass Joe could never beat Mike Tyson.
I do love the meme though of Jake Paul as Glass Joe and Mike Tyson, but that's not what's going to happen.
But Glass Joe is fighting a 58-year-old Mike Tyson, an old and feeble, slow-moving Mike Tyson, who, as he gets older too, seems like he shrinks a little bit. Yo, guys, full disclosure, I'm like 5'10" 3/4, right? With height-increasing shoes on. And I'm bigger than Mike Tyson. He's fighting a young, strong.
But he's never been known for his height and size.
But he's older though, and he's fighting a young, strong Jake Paul, who people keep saying is an influencer. Yo, he hasn't been an influencer in a long ass time. He's a straight up boxer now who does this day in and day out. So that ring rust Mike Tyson has is real compared to the everyday training of a young Jake Paul.
Spot just put up a meme. Does his brother Logan look more like Glass Joe? Take a look at that again, because he does look like Glass Joe.
He does.
Sorry,
but you know what? I do want to. You confused the Paul brothers. How dare you, Spot? What I do want to point out is that much like you and everyone else, I said, if you're 30s, mid 30s or older, you're like Mike Tyson. We all are rooting for Mike Tyson. Facts. But Mike Tyson's last two losses in his 30s, Kevin McBride and Danny Williams.
What did he say? I just don't have the fighting guts. I'm just doing it for the money. I just don't have it in me anymore. You think at 58 he does? Yeah, he looks good hitting the pads. How's he gonna look when Jake Paul's throwing jabs at him? He's the first guy that says everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face.
I feel like a dick saying it, but I feel like everyone that's like our age or older is delusional. If he couldn't beat Kevin McBride and Danny Williams when he was in his late 30s and he's like, yeah, I don't got it anymore. And he was doing it for the money. And he's like, I don't have that. He's talked about how he doesn't have that voice inside anymore. Now, yeah, you can watch him, warm up and hit the pads. I think he could do that for 2 rounds. And I said it on Fox Sports Radio the other day. I think he has a good 2 rounds to do some damage. And then he's gassed. He's 58, father time, undefeated.
Undefeated, but there's honor in the fight. And we bring this up today. Of course, we touched on it on the Covino and Rich Show, Fox Sports Radio. But there's an update from an older fighter, the Iceman, Chuck Liddell.
Oh, I thought you said the Dice Man.
No.
I wonder what he thinks.
Hey.
Oh, Tyson's unbeatable. Oh. But here's the Iceman. Take a watch.
Do you think Tyson has a chance? Jake, they're saying, is the favorite.
Yeah, if Tyson's taking a dive, but if Tyson hits him, it's over.
So,
Hey, by the way, last thing to go is power.
Interesting.
Last thing to go is power. He hits him, it's over.
So it doesn't matter.
Mike still, you see Mike still hits.
Okay, that's a fair warning. That's your message. What's your message to Jake?
Keep coming up, man.
All right, now wouldn't it be great if Tyson won? Of course, that's what we all want to see. And are we fighting experts? No, but we're big fans. But I got to take what Chuck Liddell says seriously. He's a guy who fights. He's a guy who lives it.
I get it. Power's the last to go.
Power's the last to go. So it's a heavyweight bout. Everybody has a puncher's chance, especially Mike Tyson. What did he say recently? It's going to be so effing easy. So effing easy.
He thinks it's going to be easy. And listen, we can't disregard the fact that Mike Tyson is one of the greatest heavyweight fighters of all time. Some would argue in his prime, in those couple of years, unbeatable no matter who he faced in any generation. But he's a guy approaching 60, and he is not in it every day. Jake Paul might be a joke to you, but he trains every day. He's ripped. He's 27. He's proven that he could go the distance in the ring. I hate this outcome because I think the outcome is, I think it's more of a sparring match. It goes the distance, and we're all sort of sad.
Well, I still believe that Tyson ends up on his ass losing this fight, and we're all sad about it.
What else do you
We're all
believe?
feeling somber because our childhood was just ruined right before our eyes because Jake Paul knocked him out. And we're like, no. But here are the facts. Jake Paul is young and strong. And as Chuck Liddell said, power's the last to go. So Tyson has a little more of a chance than maybe some of us thought, but I still think he loses here.
But if you were adamant about Mike Tyson's going to win, F it, I bet on Mike Tyson then. He is a plus 300 underdog, meaning you bet 100, win 300. Jake Paul, minus 360 to win 100. So a significant favorite. So if you really do think he's got that puncher's chance, it's Mike Tyson, we're delusional, and Tyson's going to whoop the fucking canvas with this guy, I think the reality, then bet on Tyson because I want to see it happen. I may bet $100 on Tyson just to root for him.
Well, another fact is we're all going to be watching regardless.
Yeah.
We're all getting together.
Here's the question.
We're all watching.
It's
We're
not
hoping
extra.
to be there.
It's not extra money, right? It's Netflix, so it's just going to be streaming for free, which means,
As far as I know,
if
look, they're
that's-
new to this fight game, so I'm waiting to see.
if this is the case and it's just streaming on Netflix, which we all have, is this end up being
Netflix.
Does this end up being a top 5 viewed thing on Netflix? Because
It's going to be
Chappelle-
Stranger
No, but
Things than my Mike Tyson
think about
fight.
it. Stranger Things, like a new Chappelle special. I think this fight gets the eyes.
Oh, dude, it's going to break all sorts of records
Yeah.
because, again, this is transcending generations. You're going to have all these people that grew up with Mike Tyson, right, who are going to want to get together like the good old days. Yo, man, when we used to get together in the 90s to watch
course.
Tyson knock somebody out, you know, order some pizza. But you got the younger generation, too, who also want to watch Jake Paul. And then there's so much intrigue. You know, casual fans will tune in, and it's going to be a sold-out event. We're pumped for it either way. Even though it's kind of, I think it's going to end in a sad way, but it's his legacy, not ours.
Let's get there.
Yeah.
Let's go to Dallas.
That's the plan.
Get your Spurs.
But hey, before
talk
we
to
move
Jerry
on-
Jones, be like, yo, Jerry.
You know what? I'm going to slide into his DMs right now. But before we move on and talk about Robert F. Kennedy and Aaron Rodgers, a few fights I think you need to care about, like real fights, okay?
Okay, give me a
'Cause
fight.
Here's the thing I don't like about this stuff. I love this spectacle. It's an intriguing one. But I don't want the sideshow to become the main event, and that's what's happening with boxing, right? I'm a boxing fan. So you got Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney on 420. That's a fight, bro.
Wait, Ryan Garcia, the guy that just said today, I believe, I'm looking for my queen.
He's saying a lot of things.
He's
dude.
looking for his queen.
Yeah,
he's trying
he's-
to face that. And I'm putting it out there. And Ryan Garcia is like a good-looking young fighter. Or he's rich. There's a lot of women that would want to be his queen.
Well, he's King Ryan, but he's saying a lot more than that. Cuckoo's Nest. You got Canelo. This is the fight that people should be talking about.
Okay.
Canelo Alvarez and Jaime Munguia, May 4th, heading into Cinco de Mayo,
And
man.
people want Munguia, though. He's a great fighter.
They wanted Benavidez. Look, it's not Benavidez, but it's the second best thing because
Yeah.
Munguia is a badass. This kid could fight. Former champ. So Canelo Munguia, two Mexican vatos locos going at it. Let's go.
I just take notes when you talk about fighting. Since you're so passionate, it gives me barbershop material when I get my hair cut. Yeah. I look smarter than I am. I'm like, well, they wanted Benavidez, but Munguia is a good fighter. They're like, yo, Rich knows what he's talking about.
Well, again, look, everybody wants to talk about the sideshow and the spectacle. There's some really great fights coming up. You got Tyson Fury Usyk May 18th, right? And what makes this great is if Fury wins, he's probably going to get that AJ fight, Anthony Joshua, who just knocked out Francis Ngannou.
Anthony Joshua has been on a comeback. He's won his last few fights. In fact, his last 4 fights since he looked like shit a couple of years ago. And I saw our buddy Ariel Helwani saying how Tyson Fury has just sort of coasted, where a guy like Anthony Joshua has been trying to get better and better and better. And if there's any reflection of Ngannou, who gave Tyson Fury a lot of trouble, Anthony Joshua made him look like an amateur.
Yeah, and this is a huge English bout, right? 2 English legends, Fury and AJ, if that happens. You got Tank Davis and Frank Martin fighting this summer. That doesn't get me that excited. But you also got Tyson Paul, July 20th in Dallas. We talked about that. And Keith Thurman this weekend fighting Tim Tszyu. And you got Rolly Romero also fighting this weekend, fighting Pitbull. And guess what? Not Pitbull, the artist. No, Pitbull.
Dolly!
Not Pitbull, the artist. But again, word on the streets is we're going to be there in Vegas. That's May 30th.
Yeah, not this weekend.
I mean, March 30th. March 30th.
Next weekend.
Yeah, March 30th.
I was like, shit, am I going to Vegas?
One-time Thurman.
Am I going to Vegas this weekend?
One-time No, we're going to be in Nashville.
We're going to be in
this
Nashville.
weekend.
Get your shit straight.
So, all right. So, some big fights coming up, but everybody's talking about Tyson Paul.
All right. Well, hey, let's talk about something else that is an interesting hypothetical, and I think you're going to be shocked by my answer. What has a better chance of going down?
Well, this week, Dan Beyer broke it on our show, Covino Rich, Fox Sports Radio. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced that he's running as an independent for president, but he asked Aaron Rodgers and Jesse the Body Ventura, apparently, to be his running mates. One of them being VP, and I asked Dan Beyer, well, what about Jesse Ventura? He goes, Secretary of Body Slams. I don't know, but it seemed like they both agreed to maybe do it. There's interest there, right? So the question is now, well, does Aaron Rodgers have a better chance of winning a Super Bowl or becoming the vice president?
My answer?
Yeah.
You might disagree. I don't know how you could. He has an easier chance of becoming vice president.
I agree with you. I actually agree. And when we agree is fact.
Dude, he's 40, going to be 41 this season. The Jets are in the AFC with, I would argue 5 teams easy in my mind that are better.
Imagine he leaves the Jets, though, to run for vice president.
It would be the most Jets thing of all time. Imagine that. The most Jets thing of all Jets history. But, all right. Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Burrow, Deshaun Watson's back. Russ is on the Steelers. You got Harbaugh coaching Justin Herbert. There's no way this Jets team, just because Aaron Rodgers is back, is cruising to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying this election, but down the line, if there ever is a third party, this might be the introduction to that. I think Aaron Rodgers, believe it or not, has a better chance of being vice president than being a Super Bowl champion again.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, because you got to think about the window. What is he in his 20th season, 21st season?
So he's got 2 years maybe to win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
The rest of his life to be a politician.
The rest, yes.
I mean, our president, the candidates
he's
now
40 now. Joe Biden's 81.
Yeah,
so
40
he's got
years.
40 years to be in office. I think this is a clear answer. It sounds ridiculous, but it's so clear. Look, and in 20 seasons, he's only won 1 Super Bowl, right? And with all the competition now, you think he has a better chance of winning a Super Bowl?
Nope.
No way.
Nope.
No way.
Well, I
believe
do
it or not, better chance to be in office as a VP as of now.
Let me point this out before we move on to some NFL stuff.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, the politician, versus Aaron Rodgers, the Super Bowl champion. Listen, he's won a Super Bowl. To get a second one, not easy. We can name a hell of a lot of great quarterbacks that have either never won or won one time. So you look at Aaron Rodgers, the politician, and you say to yourself, well, you know who else was a politician? That was an actor, celebrity, athlete, Ronald Reagan, Jesse the Body Ventura, Donald Trump, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sonny Bono, Clint Eastwood, Bill Bradley, Manny Pacquiao.
Dude, Steve Garvey is running in politics here in LA.
Clay Aiken ran for office, the American Idol kid. So
Steph Curry announced this week that he'd be open to a future in politics, including president. He said he'd maybe run for president, wants to create meaningful change. So Steph Curry talking about it. Yeah. Not impossible. These guys have a platform. They have impact. They're popular. And, it's definitely something we've seen before. So why not Aaron Rodgers?
So, hey, Aaron Rodgers? The actor? No, Aaron Rodgers? The football player?
Exactly.
So we'll see what happens there. Now, the NFL has been... Is a tornado the right word?
I'll take it.
A tornado of information. Like, if it's almost like you look away for a couple hours and you're lost in the sauce. You're like, wait, what happened?
Exactly.
Dude, you were coming back from your trip from Japan. I was coming back from my vacation to Mexico. I was keeping my ear and my, on my phone. I was looking at my phone. I was checking things, but I still didn't know all the things that were going down until I came back.
Yeah. You're like, Russ is a Steeler now? What's going on? Here are the notable signings real quick just to keep you in the loop. Again, Covino and Rich overpromised. DeAndre Swift to the Bears, Jacobs to the Packers, Cousins to the Falcons, Eckler to the Commanders, Mariota to the Commanders, Saquon Barkley to the Eagles, Gabe Davis to the Jaguars, Mac Jones to the Jaguars, Pollard to the Titans, Christian Wilkins to the Raiders, Brian Burns to the Giants, and just recently Darnold and Jones to the Vikings. And
I think there's probably more.
Derrick Henry to the Ravens.
Yeah, there's more since you even said that. You know what?
It's endless.
It's
like you said, a tornado.
Eckler to the Commanders. Did you say that?
Yeah, I said that.
Let's see. Yeah, dude. Oh, look at this. To clear up cap space, this just in. Mike Williams released by the Chargers. So he's going to end up somewhere.
Every time you refresh your social media, like, oh.
So, but by the time you're watching this, what we talked about 10, 15 minutes ago on Fox Sports Radio might be outdated.
Yeah.
But here's where we're going with this. We've talked about this in the past, but every time you see these guys on their third, fourth, fifth, second, whatever, when a stars
attract other stars.
When they change teams, there's that visual adjustment where it's like, oh, I gotta figure out how I look at them in this new uniform. Now, there's classic examples of guys that looked funny in their new uniforms, like Emmitt Smith as a Cardinal. That's what everyone brings up.
It's an eye adjustment. It's like when your dad shaved his mustache. You're like, oh.
Or when Don Mattingly shaved his mustache.
Yeah, it's like, whoa. And then you get used to it. We're not used to it yet. So out of all these moves that are being made, there's a lot of moves, a lot of big news in the NFL. We figure we narrow down the ones that look the weirdest.
Now, when it comes to what takes a visual adjustment, we could start with not Aaron Rodgers, his old teammate, Aaron Jones, who I feel like was such a great locker room guy. Everyone loved Aaron Jones in Green Bay.
I think it's the color shift, even though we've seen this shift before.
Yeah. When you see Aaron Jones, who in my mind is rocking that green and yellow, that green and gold, that Green Bay
him, you picture him, with the Cheeseheads.
And you see him go to the Vikings. It's very reminiscent of when Brett Favre became a Viking, and it just looked funny to us, right? It was like
odd.
Like, I get it.
Especially Brett Favre.
People change teams. When Favre went to the Jets, it was green, so it was a little same. But the Vikings, to me, was like, man, it just doesn't look right.
And as silly as that sounds, when he was with the Jets, it was easier on the eyes. It's true because you associate these players with the colors. It's just laundry. We get it. But it's how your mind works. It's how your eyes see. Another one, for so many reasons that just looks odd to us, looks the funniest in the new uniform. Saquon Barkley, man, going from the Giants to the Eagles. I mean, again, same division makes it worse, but
rivals.
Right. The rivalry makes it worse.
I think I'll be honest, looks a little cooler with the Eagles. I'm not saying the Giants don't look cool, but the Giants have struggled. The Giants had nothing going on. And Tiki Barber and people that criticize his move, ridiculous to me. This guy did what was best for him. Get the hell out.
Tiki Barber said he's dead to him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And like everybody's saying that. Anytime someone leaves a team,
dead to me.
Dead to me.
Dead to me. Let me throw another one at you. Because I think, it sounds rude because I'm sure he's a swell fella. I think Russell Wilson is not cool enough to wear the Steelers uniform.
Dude, I feel the same way.
I'm like, he's not bad enough.
No, there's just, again, as Colin Cowherd said this week on Fox Sports Radio, there's just something about Russell Wilson. And it comes back to leadership. His stats are good in the past few years, believe it or not. But does he have the leadership to be the man in Pittsburgh? Look, they're getting him at the league minimum, so no loss there. But he also just looks weird in the Steelers uniform.
But believe it or not, if he shocks us all and that team wins 11, 12 games and they make a good run, I'll be the first to say I was wrong.
Well, dude,
because it can
nobody's
very well,
rooting against the guy.
The Steelers,
I'm not rooting against them.
The Steelers were so well balanced last year that with no real quarterback, they made the playoffs, if you remember.
Hey,
so
dude, if he has a comeback season, that would be the greatest. We all love great stories. Nobody's rooting against that. Just don't see that happening. So and it still looks odd to me. I wasn't used to him as a Bronco.
Let me tell you.
So
Tennessee's a great place. We're going to be there tomorrow. We're going to be there at what, Friday?
Friday.
Nashville's a cool-ass place. But you know who looks way cooler in their new uniform? That Ravens uniform is so much more badass to me for Derrick Henry than the Titans, like powder blue. And I don't know. I just think Derrick Henry is going to look like a badass rocking that Ravens uniform. Because the Ravens uniform, I could argue, is one of the most badass ones in the game.
Yeah, the powder blue is a little soft compared to that.
Especially when he's rocking that all black jersey they wear sometimes.
Oh,
That's even the light version with the white. But
more intimidating. Definitely a cooler look. Odd to see, again, with the contrast of his previous uniform, but he's going to look cool in it once our eyes adjust.
So let's talk about this one. Josh Jacobs. You could say it's the reversal. We just talked about how Derrick Henry went from, nice uniform, but sort of powder blue to
he went from a pretty
Ravens
uniform to a badass uniform.
Yeah, now, Josh Jacobs, no offense to the Packers, this guy was rocking silver and black hole Raiders. I know the Raiders weren't delivering, but...
You hate the Raiders, you love the Raiders. We all could agree that the coolest colors in the NFL. That's the coolest color scheme ever.
You wore their starter jacket and you didn't even like the team.
I love that starter jacket still.
So to see Aaron Jones move along and then they replace him with Josh Jacobs, it's going to take a minute for Josh Jacobs and my eyes to see him as a cheesehead.
Right. It just, I feel like he's downgrading in the style department. Yeah, I do. It's not as intimidating, that's all.
But I'll tell you what.
And we associate him as a Raider.
When you think of how young that Green Bay Packers team is.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about how they were the hottest team at the end of last year. Mm-hmm. Josh Jacobs joins that team at, I believe, 27 years old. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's going to be one of the veterans on that team. So if you think Jordan Love and that team's got some juice, add Josh Jacobs as a veteran? Watch out.
Yeah,
NFC,
some great leadership.
The Packers may have clicked, and it's going to be fun.
These are the guys, the NFL players that look the weirdest as of now because the moves are being made left and right.
Yeah, 26.
He's 26 years old.
And he's going to be one of the older guys on that offense.
So, again, Josh Jacobs, the Raiders to the Packers, looks weird, but you know who also looked weird? Our buddy Spot here when he was on HGTV.
Oh, you remember that? Yeah, Spot. Remember when he
hosted that show, Hometown? It's like, wait, he's going from Fox Sports Radio to Hometown on HGTV. Remember that? I always thought that was weird.
Spot?
Remember when Spot hosted that show?
Is that not? Oh, that's not Spot.
That's not Spot? Oh, wait, that's not you? That's Ben Napier? Oh, that's Ben Napier. My bad. I thought that was Spot. Yeah. I always thought that was weird.
Oh, so you're bootleg Ben Napier is what it comes down to. Shit, now I see it. Oh, can I throw one more in the mix that isn't weird to me? This is not weird to me, and I'll tell you why. You could say not all white guys look the same, but to me, Kirk Cousins is cut from a similar cloth as Matt Ryan. So when Kirk Cousins goes to the Falcons, I don't think it's going to look funny because I'm like, it's sort of like Matt Ryan part 2, but a little better.
Falcons cool uniform too.
Yeah,
though.
Falcons are a cool uniform. I think Kirk Cousins looks dope.
Yeah. But you all do look the same because you do look like, Dane Cook met Eli Manning.
Met Kirk Cousins.
Meets Kirk Cousins, meets Robbie Rotten.
He looks dope. Rich is a dope.
Oh, you're like true. Ryan Reynolds-ish kind of. Yeah. So, but that being said, let's all get used to it. Let's all figure it out. Let's all start trying to remember who's where. It's confusing.
Perfect.
And it keeps on going.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow, filling in for Colin Cowherd on The Herd You Heard. And then Friday, we'll see you live in Nashville, Tennessee, Graduate Hotel. We'll see you then. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the Overpromised land.